What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
Everybody, good morning. It is the Jaguar Journal. Glad to have you guys with us. I am Perry White, very special guest here in the studio. Hey, man, he's the man that make everything happen here on the Jaguar Journal. My man, CJ Guidry. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Perry White.
And good morning to everybody out there listening on Talk 107.3 FM. Glad to have you guys with us around the Baton Rouge capital city area and everybody watching on our Facebook and YouTube Live. Glad to have you guys as well. As always, good to read the comment sections and everything else. Mr. Guidry, what's going on?
Oh, Perry, I'm just trying to see what is going on. You're always the man with the word, the man with the plan, the man with everything we need to do and see about where we need to go.
Now I done brought you. Hey, I said come in and let's talk this morning. But, you know, a few weeks ago, you had an open house with B&G Supply Company. Talk about that for anybody out there who may have missed it but still may be in need of some type of inventory or anything else.
Well, I really thank you, Perry, for that because, yes, I did acquire another company, which is B&G Supply, and it is a floor company that comes in and provide everything that you might need for your flooring needs. And it started off, we're about 11 months old now. I'm real pleased with the sales of the products, and it's something that I think going to be really good down the road. We're really enjoying what we see so far.
Now, right here with the Jaguar Journal, you and Reggie brought me in with this show, and I've been around with it. I'm still trying to figure out the year. I can't quite put a year to when I first started. I don't remember.
I brought the show from Greg. Greg Rochelle is the one that founded the show back in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2001, Greg Rochelle passed. Well, he had a heart attack on the show, died on the show.
Really?
Yeah, so it was a lot of movement at that time. So I came in. He had a couple of guys by the name of Bob Bennett and Carlos Brown was doing the show, and they asked me could I come in and give them some assistance. And when I looked at what they needed, it was a really huge list, but we was able to, manage it and move forward with it. Now, since you done came on, you done took the show to a different level. You and Mike have really brought it from the radio to the internet to the worldwide network, and it has done some great things. And you got to understand, now this show is a self-producing show. We don't have no sponsors. We don't have anybody that comes up here and give us $100,000 to make this show take place. So what you've been doing is really a miracle working. You're producing something. Don't have no engineer. We got Mike over there that's doing the engineer now, but you don't have your own team. And we're looking to do some things down the road that's going to enhance those type of things. And look, I'm proud of the Southern thing where they got the radio. At least they got a radio station, but it's going to need a lot of work. I'm the one that went to D.C. with the guys, Mr. Johnson and Ernie Ladd. And there's a story behind that even because they brought 4 of those radio stations back there, and that was like 2010.
Okay.
So it's a lot of things been going on, but Perry, you have really done a miracle job here. Mike had brought in and came in and did some things that have really set the standard for what we are doing and what you are doing in this radio business. Now, it needs to be the people like myself come in and step up and put some finance in the business and put it to the next level. And that's where I would like to get with you guys and see where we need to go from the next level. But we need to hire a team of people to come in and do some things to assist us because I'm limited on a lot of things right now. And got a lot of things going on, but I'm steady moving.
And that's one of the things I could go back a couple years. I was on another show and I was explaining on how I thought Southern, the SWAC, and how we could do things, and somebody was saying, I always talk about because we don't have the resources don't mean you cannot go out and create something yourself. And somebody said, well, what are you doing? And I said, you know what? Hey, you going to hold me to the fire? Let me show you. You can do it. You don't need all of these bells and whistles, but you got to start somewhere. And you can recall you and I sat down with you for a few times saying, hey, this is the vision. This is how I think it could look. And then it was kind of like, I don't know if we dare you. I don't know. But eventually you said, hey, Perry, you got it. Do as you see fit. And with the help of Mike, I told Mike, since I've been doing the show so far, he's the best producer we've had. Because other producers who have done this show, they almost made it like it was dreadful. Like, I got to go do the Southern show.
Yeah.
Mike has honed it in. He like, hey, bro, this is the show, So, but for people out there, it is creating this and realizing how to take this Baton Rouge radio show. Because one of the things, Mr. Guidry, it would be Saturday because initially when I started with Reggie, we were on 104.5 on Thursday nights. We would get to a game on Saturday and people were like, hey, I missed the show. What'd you guys talk about? Or it would be Saturday mornings and people say, man, I caught the last 15 minutes of the show. What'd you guys talk about? I said, man, we got to do something in order to where we can archive this, where it doesn't matter if you catch it live, because I know 7 to 9 is early for a lot of people on a Saturday. The one day you want to sleep in, and that's why I always thank the people who do listen to us out there. It's a lot of stuff you could be doing on a Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah, right. I have a lot of things on my slate, but look, this is very important to me. And Reggie, you have been an integral part of this entire thing. And Mike have came in and enhanced it even further. But if you really want to know the true issue about it, I have invested about $700,000 in this show over the last 25 years. We've gone past 25 years as it relates to the Jaguar Journal. We have no sponsors. I didn't want no sponsors because I wanted to keep the content open, independent, free. Do what you want to do, say what you want to say, keep it within the perspective of the federal government to where you don't be called in. And you all have done an outstanding job. We done gone from Baton Rouge bound to world bound now.
Yeah.
And all this has to do with a lot of things that have taken place. But as moving forward in another year or so, I will be giving up everything as it relates to turn over all the things to my family that's going to be running the thing. And it's a good set of people that we putting together to have that take place as well. But you got a history to tell. You got a story to tell here. Perry, you done something, you and Mike, that y'all don't even know what y'all have done, really, to broadcast, move this show from where it was in Baton Rouge to a worldwide situation now. It's breathtaking, to be honest with you.
And talk to me because, I try to figure out a lot of history myself because when I came into the show, it already was rolling. Reggie was rolling with it, and then he was looking for the next person to kind of work along and then take it. But the history of the Jaguar Journal, it's the longest running sports talk show in the state of Louisiana, correct?
Oh, yes, sir. And that's what you do when you pay your bills. You stay on radio or stay on television. If you don't pay your bills, I can guarantee you ain't going to be on no show here. Because I have seen people come and go. Some that I never thought would be taken out of their spot has been moved because it's a matter of finances. You don't pay yourself where you're supposed to pay, you're not going to be on this radio show.
And I know a lot of people, especially before I got here, saying, hey, man, I grew up listening to the Jaguar Journal, man. We got up, my father, my grandfather. It is a part of the fabric of Southern, but it has had its ups and downs as well, correct?
It has had its up and down. Bob Bennett and Carlos Brown was two of the gentlemen that really got started with the Jaguar Journal. And then we brought on some other people that came in and got involved, and they moved on. And it always was a learning experience for whoever had the show. It was still a learning curve that they had to maintain and exhibit the professionalism that you have brought to the stage now that is really taking it to another level.
It was a little bad blood with Southern University for a minute there, and that's just the honesty of what the show is because of the criticism that was coming to the university, and the university kind of pulled back a little bit of this show. Since then, I would love to say, with all the coaches and everybody else coming on here, it must have mended those relationships. But, reflecting back on just this show and the navigating that, there's a thin line almost of being critical of Southern, but at the same time, boosting Southern and loving Southern.
Well, yes, it was. When the show first came on with Greg Bichelle being in charge of the show, he was very friendly with the Southern community because he was a Southernite. He was a guy that came through the university, excelled himself in the media world. He broadcast a lot of things live. And then it came into where the show opened up a little bit when Carlos Brown and Coach Bennett came on, and they started being a little critical of things that was not well taken. But then I came in and I started donating like $30,000 a year to the Southern Foundation. And it kind of got us back on solid ground as it relates to the relationship with Southern. But now we still have some challenges we have to do because there's still a lot of things out there that they are trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
They need the resources. They need the money. They need a lot of things. But I think you have taken it as far as you can go with it for what we have to work with. But, Perry, you and Mike have done an outstanding job. You all just don't know what you have brought back and foreseen and moving this position to the next level.
Well, I appreciate you as always for the opportunity because, I never thought I'd be in radio. I didn't go to school for this. I came on as a guest a couple times, ended up co-hosting with Reggie, and then now taking over and hosting the show. And like you said, it's you that keep the lights on around here. And you call in, you give your opinion in terms of how you think things should go. But I think it's the very fabric that the fact that we even have this show, period, for Southern University. Because when you look out there, like you said, it's not the fact that we're talking about Southern and bringing up issues, but we praise it too. But it's not controlled, so nothing about this show has to be politically correct. It is open to the people. It is for the people. And guess what? When I go out and you go out, we listen to the people and we bring that here because we understand we're not in a bubble. Mm-mm. We're not stuck ignoring what's going on or what we see. We're speaking on behalf because when people have the conversations, you bring the conversations here because people want answers to the questions.
Well, Perry, you hit a lot of things right on the head there. This show gives people the opportunity to say what they need to say, to feel what they need to, what they feel, and let everybody know. It's more to what is going on at Southern than what you hear and see and read. It's a lot of things that take place. Chris is one of the guys that I've always admired. He calls the show. He got so much history in his package, and that's why I like to listen to him. But, Perry, you done brought it so far to that. You got a lot of people that have been on this show, and I want to praise Roger Kadar because Roger is really have done a great job of moving this, needle a little bit further down the road. And I wish him all the best, too, because he's struggled in the last 6 or 7 months with his situation.
Oh, Coach Kadar listens, and then, he called in one day. It's like, it was a great topic, and then he called me after the show, and I said, Coach, I didn't think you would be up this early in the morning. He said, oh, no, I'm up. I'm listening to the show, but, I once again want to appreciate you for all that you do and continuously keeping the lights on with this show. And you have worked this show well before it was ever a Perry White in the picture, and you make sure that we continue to do it, and you take care of us, Mike and I, man, and we appreciate you for all that you do. And I think for the people out there, they appreciate the fact of just having a Jaguar Journal, because if it wasn't for the Jaguar Journal, what would we have looking around in terms of just straight talk of Southern University? It'll be shows that may talk a little bit about Southern, but just a Southern-based dedicated show, hey, this is it.
Well, it is it, but Perry, I would like to do a little bit more. I'd like to get us a little bit more deep into things to where we're covering more, we're doing more, we have the ability to expand our horizon. And even with this show, we can take it to where we can match up with the SWAC network. We can match up with other HBCU networks because you guys have opened yourselves up so good, so wide. People really wants to come in and join you. It's just a matter of how far you want to go with it and take it from where we are now to the next level.
I think we want to go to the moon.
All right, well.
We want to go to Mars. Where you want to go, Mike? Jupiter?
Yeah, Mike.
We can go to Pluto.
Yeah, Michael already look like you're in Jupiter here this morning. Huh? You're already looking pretty good. Yeah. But
He's futuristic, isn't he?
But it is things that I think we can go and do and have done. I'm open for it. I don't mind financing it when I can see the groundwork where it's at. And we have never had, we're on this air because we have done what we need to do to stay on there. And I think we can even go further than where we are right now. But Perry, we're really going to be relying on you and Mike to just brainstorm and bring us to where we need to be and like to be just with what you have right here. We don't want to hurt nobody, but you guys have done a great job in putting this show together.
I appreciate that, CJ. For you, man, before we get ready to before you get out of here, you got anything you want to promote out there? Anything coming up? Any businesses? Anything out there?
Well, we have some business. We need to do a better job of recruiting. I'm not really worried about the recruiting part of things, but I'm really glad that you all are exposing the Southern University, giving them an opportunity to expose their athletic program. I'm a strong component of Coach Gray. I think Coach Gray is going to take us to the next level. We need Coach Johnson to take us to the next level in basketball. We need to start looking at why we are not getting what we need, are used to getting, and seeing things moving in the direction we're doing. The baseball program, something needs to happen there. It's a lot of little things that we see that they need to come on and explain to us. Why is the community in the situation that they are in? If we just can take care of business as it relates to these particular things that goes on at Southern University.
Well, I appreciate you, Mr. Guidry. That's the voice of C.J. Guidry, everybody. We got to get ready to take a break. You got something before we go to break?
Oh, no, sir. I'm just glad to hear. I'm going to be sitting here a minute and look at what you all doing. It's magic here, you know.
Well, everybody out there, let's get ready to take a break. We'll be back. Stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Quincy Richard is the quarterback. And, Don, this is a man who's really changed his game from last season, and he's a graduate student as well.
Yes, he has, Bob. Quincy Richard has matured into the unquestioned leader of this Southern University offensive attack. 10 wins this season, and he set school marks for passing yards and touchdown passes. And Bobby's had a lot of help, only 5 sacks on the season.
He earned his undergraduate degree back in August. He's taking some master's classes, and he wants to be a lawyer.
Here's Richard looking at the end zone. Has a man there. Touchdown, Southern University.
Play clock down to 3. Richard gets it off over the middle. Touchdown.
Holmes goes in motion and comes set on a 1st and 10. Richard completes it. That's Ard. Ard down the sideline. He could go. And finally pushed out of bounds. Richard's run for 10 touchdowns this season. He's going to keep it. Richard goes in. Make it 11 for Quincy Richard. Richard wide open. Touchdown, Chris Davis. Oh, does he love playing football even more now?
That in the flag against Grambling, holding on the kickoff.
Richard looking deep, and it's a touchdown.
But only 3 times did he go down. Twice he ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It goes down as a sack.
2nd and 8. The deep ball, and that's our man, Chris Davis, for the touchdown. time for today's State Farm Players of the Game. And from Southern University, the quarterback, number 15, Quincy Richard, 34 of 42, 552 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
Quincy, on behalf of State Farm Insurance Companies, I want to present you with a trophy for the most outstanding player today. Congratulations.
All right, everybody, we're back. It is the Jaguar Journal. I am Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us this morning here on Talk 107.3. Good morning to everybody listening across the Baton Rouge capital city area. Glad to have you guys with us and everybody out there listening and watching on our YouTube and Facebook Live and everywhere else. Be sure to keep up with the Jaguar Journal on X, formerly known as Twitter, on our Facebook as well as Instagram. And we're also on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. So, man, if you ever just on the road, you need 2 hours to pass by, hey, cut on the Jaguar Journal. If it's certain segments that you want to listen to specifically of coaches and whatever else, or just different segments, or John Grant, the different coaches, and whatever the case may be, man, you scroll through there. We got it for you on the Jaguar Journal YouTube channel. You can go there and subscribe right now. It costs nothing. It is free. All we need is your love and support. And as you know, want to thank Mr. CJ Guidry for coming in and speaking with us this morning, man. I was telling Mike, I said, you know, as much as CJ calls in, I think that might be the first time since I've been around, and I've been around a minute now, that CJ has actually come in the studio and got on the mic since I've been here. So it was good to have him. But that's what I try to tell you guys out there as we enhance. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you guys don't even know what we working with. And I see people who sometimes complain about this and complain about that. I'm like, hey, we're not just necessarily doing the best that we can. We're just working with the best that we have right now. And we're trying to do that. And as you can see, pubbing out stuff. If you look on our Facebook, I think probably gets the most interaction with the Facebook videos that we put out, taking those shorts, taking segments and putting it out there for people. I'm talking thousands of views. YouTube, you know, it's up and down with YouTube. We're still growing it. It's still getting a lot of people out there because as big as Southern's fan base is, there's a lot of the fan base we have yet to even get to. There's a lot of people out there don't even know about the Jaguar Journal, and it's been around 20-plus years that are Southern fans. So organically, what we're doing is trying to grow this show. Hopefully somebody, you know, sees the video and says, okay, it says the Jaguar Journal at the top. Let me hear what they're talking about. All right, I hear it and listen. Then I click that and then, okay, well, I'll follow the page. Then I'll go subscribe to the YouTube. Everything we've done has been growing organically. We hadn't put a lot into this and that. We're just growing this with the people who want to grow with us. Like I tell you, it costs nothing. It's free. All you got to do is hit a subscribe button, hit a like button, or hit a follow button, and that's it. And we're going to continue to grow this thing more and better than what we have right now. I think on Instagram, the big thing was the Trey Holly video. You know, Instagram has kind of been up and down, but Trey Holly himself shared the video, commented on the video. That's what we're trying to do, reach people, the players, the coaches, and everybody else. Coach Brittany Williams did the same thing last week during her segment talking about today's camp and clinic that she's hosting over on Southern University's campus. We are just trying to tell the stories of what's happening as well as engage you guys and then give you the platform to call in. I always tell you, 225-499-1073 is the number. 225-499-1073 is the number. Anytime you guys want to call in, talk, I do whatever. And then the comment section. That's really where it go down at, the comment section on our YouTube channel. I enjoy every bit of that because that's what we want to do with this show. We want to grow it and get you guys involved. Everybody don't want to call in, right? Everybody's not going to be the Chris, the Chuck, the CJs, and whoever else that calls in. Some people are nervous, and I understand. Y'all don't think, to be honest, y'all don't think I'm nervous doing this show every morning on Saturday mornings. I don't know at any given time if I messed up, but I got to keep going because it's live. And I'm like, did I mess up? I told Mike last week, I said, man, I don't think my energy is there. Mike said, yeah, you're not as loud and seem to be high energy. Hey, I still have my nervous moments too, getting on here talking to you guys and then coming up with the ideas of what we're going to talk about. And today what we're going to talk about after we get ready to come out of this break, something I want to talk about at Southern University is Lacumba, right? You remember the days, and that's what I want to know. The Lacumba mascot. For me, you know what? I'll hold that thought. Mike, let's take a break. That's the beauty of radio. I'll take a break and we'll come back. I want to talk about Lacumba and can Lacumba be a little bit more interactive as our mascot? So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. More of the Jaguar Journal. It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
And they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
He really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. I am Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. And, as I talk about coming into this segment, I had a conversation with one of my buddies the other day, and we were talking about mascots, right? We had saw this, the Nissan mascot. They talk about the Heisman House and everything else. And on one of the videos, it had Southern's mascot. It had Lacumba. Lacumba was sitting in the car, and you think about these mascots from around. Just think on the other side of town how huge and popular Mike the Tiger is, right? You have the Oregon Duck, who is a big, you have the elephant over at Alabama, the Crimson Tide, right? You have the Razorback up at Arkansas. You have the Longhorn over at Texas. But to see the Jaguar for Southern in that video, it's like, okay, this is a good look for us. But then as we were talking, it was like as much as they see the reason of the value of having the Jaguar in that video, national, right? This is for everybody to see. It's not an HBCU. It's college football, the Heisman House. And I'm looking at, do we do enough with Lacumba these days? As I look around at mascots, I know the mascot is probably the least thing that people think about. What is he talking about, the mascot? but the mascots are popular. The mascots are what drives the energy for the kids. I go to LSU games, no secret about it. I go to basketball, baseball, football, whatever the case may be. When Mike the Tiger steps out, and I'm not talking about the football team, none of the athletic sports, I'm talking about the mascot. When Mike the Tiger steps out, a superstar is out. Superstar. Everybody wants a picture. Everybody wants a video. Everybody wants to be seen with Mike the Tiger. And I'm using this as an example. It's been quite some time since I've seen Lacumba step out in that same way, where when Lacumba steps out, it's a superstar. The mascot. At the games, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, all I've seen Lacumba as of lately is standing next to the cheerleaders doing 8 counts. Now tell me if I'm wrong. Lacumba has seemed to gotten real shy and timid, and not with the people. Lacumba, the moment on game day, whoever is the mascot has to be the most energetic, fun-filled, Southern-loving person. Have you ever seen the videos of the mascot, the person who plays the Gamecock at South Carolina? No one knows who they are until graduation day, and they run up and down the aisle, and everybody's like, that's who the mascot was? I didn't know. Mike, we got somebody calling. I didn't know. So I'm looking at on game days, why isn't Lacumba active? Why taking pictures with the kids and with families and just crazy? If I was Lacumba, I'd be riding around on the sideline in one of those carts with some SU flags flying off of it, some big old rims, and I'll pull up anywhere in the stadium, pop off and go walk the stands, take pictures, dance, show out, have fun with the fans, get back on that thing, swinging up and down the track, and get out and go cut up some. It's the mascot. We got somebody on the line. All right, let's go to John. Good morning, Johnny. Welcome to the Jaguar Journal. What's going on?
What's going on, Perry? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to have you call in this morning.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while, man. I've been watching, but it's been a while since I talked to you.
What you got for me this morning?
I'm just listening to your subject, man. I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I'm 55, and I've been attending Southern games since I was 9. And back in the day, Lacumba was one of the centerpieces for the event, whether it was basketball, football game, or whatever the case may be. And I think the problem is whenever you select whoever is going to do that, they got to be a high-energy person, man. I mean, you're absolutely correct. The past couple of years, Lacumba is chilling. He's on the side. He's on the track. He's with the cheerleaders most of the time. Back in the day, and most people that attended Southern games from back in their late 70s through the 80s, all the way through the 90s, you saw that particular Lacumba or those individuals. They had plenty of energy. They were pranksters. They were always on the opposite side, starting stuff with the other team and their mascot. I mean, they kept the energy going. They were dancers. I mean, you name it, like you were saying about Mike the Tiger. That Lacumba back in the day was one that people recognized, they wanted to take pictures with. He was not just sitting there. He, Mama Jaguar, all of them, they were a part of the game day experience. But nowadays, not to knock whoever's doing it, because it's not easy probably putting that suit on. But, they just don't have that energy, man. It's like everything else. Everybody's looking for a selfie or just chilling. We got to get back to that high energy, because that's the purpose of even putting on that uniform.
Man, I wholeheartedly agree. Like I said, we was thinking about it this week. I said, man, I don't miss many games, but I know when I look around, Lacumba just standing next to the cheerleaders, rocking, 8 counting. And I'm like, Lacumba shouldn't be near the cheerleaders at all, except if Lacumba wants to do a stunt or do something funny or wave the flag. But Lacumba's supposed to be for the people. That is the biggest name on the campus of Southern. I don't care what president, what coach, what football player. Nobody is bigger than Lacumba. That is the superstar of when you come on the bluff of Southern University. Nobody should outdo Lacumba. Lacumba should be the superstar around that stadium, that basketball arena, anywhere at any given time if you see that mascot. And I'm just like, seems like we kind of lost our luster with the mascot a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm one of the privileged ones that, as a kid, to know the originals. Back in the day, that had that fire and that energy. And matter of fact, my son, who's now 30, has a picture with him, and even my nephews that I've taken to games over the years have pictures with the ones that were aggressive, and that was a part of the crowd. So, I mean, we do need to get back to that. Perry, I've always wanted to call and say this, man. Our game day experience is like none other. I mean, when you think about all the technology we have now associated with our game days and so forth, the lights and the fireworks and all that stuff, we didn't have that back in the day, and it was electric even then. So imagine if everybody would, for a second, just put your phone down for a second, quit taking selfies, get back into the game. I may be an old head that's talking for the young bucks. I get it, But, man, could you imagine Mumford Stadium if we had all that energy we had back in the early 80s, 90s, man? Right now, it would be unbelievable what type of atmosphere we would really have. People would just let the cell phones get in their laps a little bit and get back into the thing.
Well, see, you got to interact with the people with the cell phones. When I go to these big-time games and these big-time stadiums, they understand, hey, the fans, especially young people, are going to have the phones in the hands. So you know what? Hey, take a selfie. What you say, hey, don't do no selfie, but take a selfie. Use this hashtag, and then you look up in between the quarters, your face is on the screen. You're showing and interacting with your fan base as they're at the stadium, showing, hey, I may have a picture with Lacumba. I may be sitting here next to my brother. I may be sitting here next to my cousin. It doesn't, you have to find a way to interact with this generation because they're not going to put the phones down. There's no way they're going to put the phones down. They're only going to put the phones down just enough to say, what just happened? Because the band, I missed the touchdown, but we have to find a way to interact. Hey, take a selfie, use this hashtag. At the end of the quarter, your face is up on the screen, or before the game, your face is showing on the screen. That's the type of things that we have to do to interact with people because the age of the phone ain't going nowhere, especially with this younger generation, the students and everything else. We just got to figure out how to work alongside them in order to keep them engaged while at the same time being at a football game, a basketball game, or whatever game it is.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man. I mean, I've seen it, at other venues that we, have games that they do that, and but it comes back to the powers that be. They have to be use their imagination to be able to do those type things, and I think that will work, especially if you think you're getting a chance to get up on the screen, which is another topic we'll talk about later, with the scoreboard, but.
Let's talk about it now. What you got for the score? Talk to me. I mean, you say you don't call in. I don't know when I'm gonna get this opportunity again.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, we know it's time, but I get it. It comes with fun, and then the first thing a person will say, well, what are you doing about even contributing to paying for it? And it comes with that, And one thing I thought about when it came to the scoreboard, which we know we need desperately right now. It would really add to the aesthetics of the stadium with all the other things we've done. I think that a naming rights project would go well into maybe even funding a brand new scoreboard. But that takes thinking outside of the box. Sometimes you have to do those type things to get where you're trying to get, and it also is a win-win when you do something like that. I see other schools, and they're doing that within their stadiums and so forth. They're naming rights and certain things. I think that would work well with Southern if they would partner with the right people. At one time, Daktronics was who we were with. I don't know if that's still the case, but I think if something like that will go over really well if they would try to do something like that.
I'm with you because I still look at that thing that's in the mini dome. I call it a flow model TV. You remember them old big TVs you used to have on the floor?
Yeah.
That's what that thing reminds me of, man. Let's take that thing down, man. It's been overdue. That thing is not even up to date.
Yeah. I look at it, whenever I'm at a basketball game, and I just wonder, why we haven't done that. But I get it. Like I say, funds, money runs a lot of things on the campus, and we're realistic. We know it takes money to do those things, but I still feel there are ways that if we think outside the box a little bit, as far as the athletic department, I think we can get some things done without having to worry about coming out of our own pocket.
That's what we pay people to do, isn't it?
Exactly, man.
I appreciate the call this morning. Hey, man, don't be a stranger. Call in, man. Hey, 225-499-1073. Put it in your phone. Save it as the Jaguar Journal. You can save this period, whatever, man. On Saturdays, give me a call. Talk to me sometime, man. Good to have you on this morning.
I definitely will. I'm gonna leave you with this, man. I've had the chance to see the Jags practice about 4 times now. We got something special, man. We stay healthy. We're gonna be okay.
Man, appreciate the call this morning, man.
All right, take it easy, man.
All right, let's get ready to take a break real quick, Mike, and we come back on the other side. We'll continue the conversation. You guys stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal. It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500-plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket. And his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
pass.
It's
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable, Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing, nice catch made.
The receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet. And Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5 yards.
All right, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning, everybody. I am Perry White. Good morning to everybody on Talk 107.3 FM, listening around the Baton Rouge capital city area, as well as watching on our Facebook, YouTube Live, and going back listening on anything else. Glad to have you guys with us. I'm talking Lacumba this morning. Has Lacumba turned to be a little lame, the mascot? It's just my personal opinion. I remember Lacumba being high energy, cutting up, dancing all over the place, loving the kids, taking pictures with the kids. Just doing things, keeping, that's part of the game day experience. And I bring that up because I saw Lacumba on national television on a national commercial. That is some value to it. That means someone says Southern's mascot is big enough for us to put with Big Al from the University of Alabama. I don't even know the duck name from Oregon. Mike the Tiger, LSU, and we got Lacumba, Southern University. Now, I know the other schools around the SWAC, especially Jackson and Texas Southern, and you know, they love their Tigers, right? Their Tiger mascot. I haven't seen a Tiger mascot on a national commercial. But their mascots, when you go to the game, are very interactive. I like that Jackson State Tiger mascot with that pot belly. Look like he just left the tailgate and drunk everybody beer and ate everybody food. He cuts up. Texas Southern has the boy and the girl tiger. They cut up. Then I look over at Lacumba lately. Lacumba just rocking side to side next to the cheerleaders, just not waving, not running, not taking pictures with the fans, not interacting with the kids. Because to me, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about the kids. And once again, I say this because when I go to the LSU game, and I hate to keep harping on this, but I got to make an example. Mike the Tiger is for the kids. That is the energy for the next generation of fans. They line up to fight each other. I want to take a picture with him. No, I want to take a picture with him. Everybody get to take a picture with him. He's not going to tell nobody no. And you know how cool it is once you see him taking a picture with you, then he's shooting shirts into the stands, and then he's in the middle of the field at the end of a quarter dancing and cutting up, and then you mean to tell me after all that he's up here with me? That's the energy that I'm looking for. That's the energy for the kids. I'm not saying for me as an adult. I like it for the antics. But I'm looking for the kids. The kids love it. Let's go to the phone line right quick. We got Chuck on the line. Let's go to Chuck. Good morning, Chuck.
Morning. Good morning. How are you all doing? Just chime in on the subject, the topic you all were talking about. I remember Lacumba in the past, and you know, Grambling had Eddie the Tiger. It's still that thing. Whoever is wearing that outfit is still hyper. And I remember here at University of Louisiana Monroe when it was Northeast Louisiana University, when they were the Indians, they had Chief Brave Spirit. He used to be around that dance, and even got back in 1992. You see it on YouTube. Got into a fight with Victor Demon of Northwestern State University of Natchitoches, Louisiana. Got into a fight, and the guy found who Chief Brave Spirit was. A guy who went to my high school when he was a senior. I was a freshman then. He owns his father had a Firestone business here in Monroe. Stephen Patron, they even interviewed him. He's been on national television. Stephen Patron. I didn't know it was Patron doing that. He graduated in 1990. I came out in 1993, and he fought Victor Demon. You had me took Victor Demon's head, got taken off, but he kept his on. But you remember, hey, people of a certain age remember 1988 Jackson State's Tiger. May he rest in peace. Dave Chambers, Wavy Dave. He got into it with a guy wearing Grambling's Tiger outfit name. They call him Psycho. He got into it at halftime. The Jackson State band was on the field. Just Got Paid was out by Johnny Kim. May he rest in peace. Wavy Dave did his routine, and the Grambling Tigers say gonna go out there and out there with it. I thought they were playing. The Jackson State band personnel had to run out there and break them up. They got to fight my parents and I at the game. I was in 8th grade then. It was Just Got Paid Friday night. And but it makes a difference. You talk about Mike the Tiger. I remember Mike the Tiger was wild back in the 80s. They didn't put that person on suspension. Yeah, put on suspension. Got into it with the other SEC mascot. They got into it with Mike. And I saw Big Al at Alabama when Alabama played in 2017, played LSU. And I was charging my phone, and Big Al just came and just walking around. And Big Al and I ended up taking a selfie together. He was up there. I think he was glad to see someone with a phone there and take some pictures.
Thank you for the call, Chuck, as always, man.
All right, great conversing with you all. You all take care.
All right. You know, that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about, everybody. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's part of the experience. And everything about the experience on your campus it begins and ends with your mascot. Yeah, the team can do everything on the field. Yeah, the coaches can do everything. Yeah, the cheerleaders. That mascot, though, going into the stands, taking pictures and doing all those. I know the video he's talking about with the Jackson State and the Grambling State Tiger fighting in the end zone. You know, when we go to Jackson and I'm walking in the end zone and I go underneath, I always talk to the little kids, the little Tigers, because, you know, they run and they hit the goalpost, boom, 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 all after another. Then they come out and they do little dance routines and they interact. I'm not comparing us to anybody. I'm just saying I think there's a lot of things, I could be talking about this morning. But I was curious about Lacumba and the mascot side of things. To me, that's a integral part of the game day for the kids. Before the game, during the game, Lacumba should always be doing some type of antic that has people laughing, that is funny, that is entertaining. And just as soon as you see Lacumba doing that on the field, it's a superstar. Lacumba right there in your face in the stand saying, hey, you want to take a picture. Like, wasn't you just cutting up on the 50-yard line at the end of halftime or at the end of the first quarter, had a whole dance routine, did something funny, throwing shirts in the stands, shooting the shirts into the stands, whatever the case may be. Throwing the little football. They don't even throw the little footballs no more, do they? Y'all know the little footballs I'm talking about? They make them the school color. They may be blue. They may be yellow. It'll have somebody's business on there. They throw them in the stands. The kids, we used to play with those little footballs. You'll swear to God it was an NFL football as a kid. I'm just going back, walk down memory lane of what I thought was fun. Hey, Sam, I know you're on the line. Hold on, man. We got to get ready to take a break. We at the top of the hour. Let's get ready to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we'll continue the conversation. You guys, and if you want to call in, 225-499-1073. If you got an experience, a memory, anything, 225-499-1073 is the number. Stay tuned, more to Jaguar Journal.
Quarter with Jackson State leading 10-3. Ball's at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. And every time you think Southern struggles, they come back, they make a play. They've done it all year long. Kick is up. Kick is good. Second down and a yard to go. Again, they give it to Lewis. Lewis finds room. Lewis still on his feet. Lewis making a move to the outside. He's inside the 25, the 10, the 5. What a run by Ryan Lewis. 69-yard run for Ryan Lewis. And how about this? Kicks up. Kicks good. Halftime, George Johnson along with Charles Mann. Southern trailed in this football game 10-7. Then they reel off 14 straight points, and they do it with the big plays.
And that's something that we didn't think would happen, at least from Southern's perspective. They've been able to methodically go down the field on people and win ball games, not the big plays. You saw the big play by Ryan Lewis running 69 yards, the nice throw by Terrence Levy. This is something that I don't think Jackson State thought they would see in Southern either, and they go into halftime down by 7 points.
Jackson State came in the best defense out of the SWAC. And if you take a look at the highlights, you will see that this club, and I'm talking about Southern, was really able to capitalize on a couple of miscues, and the big plays are the result of it.
And this is Daniel Guy with a nice stiff arm to Bradley Pittman there. And he runs that ball 36 yards inside for a touchdown, makes it 7-3. And then Terrence Levy, quarterbacking, throws a big bomb to Michael Hayes, who gets by Rashard Anderson and waltzes into the end zone for a 69-yard reception. And then the big run by Ryan Lewis, a scat back for Southern, races 69 yards for the score. And that's where it stands right now, 17-10. Southern is on top.
Passing leaders in the conference, Lionel Hayes from Grambling, your top passer. Washington second, but he's intercepted right there. This time the inside handoff,
and the ball was dropped, and Tommy Head.
Here's Taylor in the pocket, looking downfield, and looking for Leroy Fields, and this one looks intercepted, and it is.
He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
pass.
It's
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. Hayes now with 187 yards receiving. 169-yard touchdown, 181-yard touchdown.
And Southern's came up with all the big plays.
They lead by 14. And that one is intercepted by Darden. Darden looking for some room, and Guyan will finally drag him down. But we start the fourth right after this. Second down and 20 after the penalty.
Oh, he's got a man wide open.
Going into the corner. Touchdown! Reynolds attempting the point after. It's good. A 32-yard field goal. Kick is up. Kick is good.
This is a great football game.
We knew it would be, though. Torrey Thigpen got us out of our seats.
And this is the punt return by Torrey Thigpen. We were just talking about we haven't seen him. He breaks 2 tackles and runs up the sideline. He has great blocking, but gets pushed out of bounds on about the 1 yard line.
And touchdown Jackson State.
The game is a game of momentum swings. Snap is good. The kick is up.
On driver. Yes, sir.
The ball up to the big receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out of bounds at the 10-yard line. An I formation. Oh! Fumble Levy. He kicks it and falls on top of it.
Touchdown. Receiver that has not seen much action comes up big.
1st and 10. Washington over the middle, intercepted. On his own play of the game is Michael Hayes with 8 receptions, 266 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
And that was
the last one was unbelievable.
In the back of y'all, me and Doug about to go party with the rest of the people. All right, I see y'all.
And another.
All right, everybody, good morning. We are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. We are now at the 8 o'clock hour. Glad to have you guys with us bright and early on a Saturday. It is August. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps closer to football season. Good morning, everybody out there listening on Talk 107.3 FM across the Baton Rouge capital city area, and everybody out there watching on our YouTube and our Facebook Lives. Good to have you this morning. Let's go to the phone line. We got a call on the line. We got Sam on the line. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Perry. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I remember when different state colonels came up there to Memorial Stadium, running up and down the flag with his old uniform on and running that rebel flag across there, and Lacuma went to the other side, and they heard him leave out of there. Also, when I went to Jackson State was playing LSU at the PMAC, the girls playing there, and Mike the Tiger decided to have a show-off, dance-off with Jackson State, and what an embarrassment it was for Mike the Tiger. He called him out there. They play a little tune, he'll dance a little bit, and that boy from Jackson State was all over that floor. And then we went to Alcorn one time. They brought that little Indian over there. He dropped his spear in the ground, and he started dancing, started singing to that tune. But when the Jaguars came back, they had to bring the police over to get him from over there. So your Lacumas do that. And we had one time Bethune-Cookman I had to sit on at Memorial Stadium, sit on the visitor side, and Bethune-Cookman was about 2 rows down behind us. I said, they're going to blow us out of here. But he could hear him, so everybody on that side that had to get over there, we tell them turn up the volume because we couldn't even hear.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's those stories. It's just a part of the game day atmosphere, a part of it. You know, it doesn't take away from the game, the band, and anything else. It's just people can remember those things from years ago because it is part of the entertainment. At the end of the day, sports is entertainment. Football is entertainment. Being in the stands, watching the game, and everything around. Cheerleaders are entertainment. Football team is entertainment. And Lacumba as the mascot is entertainment. I love to be entertained because it gives you those funny stories. The mascot is the comical part of the game when everybody's taking football so serious. Here comes the mascot to give you that comical part of the game. It's like, man, you know what? That was funny as hell. And people will remember those things just like you're telling me and many others are saying in the comment sections and everywhere else. You remember those forever, and especially the kids. When you get a chance to take a picture, it's like, I met Lacumba. And you're like, really? And those pictures last forever. That is the pride, man. That's, to me, that's just the priceless moments to the game.
So true.
Sam, man, I appreciate you calling in this morning. Hey, don't be a stranger, man. Look, the names I don't hear often, I tell you, put it in your phone, 225-499-1073. Call in on a Saturday, man, and talk to me sometime.
Gotcha.
All right, Sam. You know, everybody, as we're talking this morning, I ain't gonna stay on it too much longer. I'll move around on it, but let's just get Lacumba to do a little bit more besides rocking next to the cheerleaders. We don't need a timid, quiet Lacumba. I want a Lacumba like, boy, what is Lacumba doing now? Remember, we got fans on the east side of the stadium and the west side of the stadium. Lacumba job on game day is to not even worry about the football game until it's like, hey, Lacumba, you got to go out and do something at the end of the first quarter. You got to go out there and do a dance routine. I just want to see a lot more interaction. I think that will help the young people, the kids. Mascots matter. They are an integral part of your games. Especially, hey, we went to the NCAA tournament last year, the women, and we won. Lacumba should have been all over that dang on basketball court in that stadium, everywhere. You know what? This goes right into what I'm talking about next. Branding and marketing. It pays to brand and market. Once again, I'm only saying this because I saw Lacumba on a Nissan commercial for the college football playoffs. It must be something there. You know how many mascots there are in the nation? And they said, let's go down to Southern. Let's get Lacumba. Plenty of mascots. Hell, you just take all the SEC mascots and call it quits. Or the Big Ten. Stanford has that ugly tree. Y'all seen that ugly tree? That Christmas tree? And that tree is famous. With the ornaments hanging on it and everything. Branding and marketing. That's part of it. Lacumba, whoever listening at Southern in athletics, I ain't asking for too much. Let's just find a fun, energetic, high-energy person. Well, they may say, well, Perry, why don't you do it? Bring me the suit then. Everybody that know it's me then. Just bring me the suit. I cut up. And you know what? You talking about social media. Lacumba cutting, you know what? Let me stop. I'm doing too much this morning. Lacumba will be on every commercial, everything. Right now, if we're doing season tickets, I have Lacumba with a phone. I'm giving you guys the ideas because I'm finna give some ideas about some other stuff too. I have Lacumba with a phone. Somebody walk up, say, hey, Lacumba, what you doing? And you see Lacumba scrolling, looking at season tickets. Are you about to get your season tickets, Lacumba? And Lacumba looking at them like they crazy, like, hell yeah, I'm getting my season tickets. I'm just using this as an idea. There's plenty of stuff that you could do. But come on, man, we got to use Lacumba. Lacumba is that's the superstar of Southern University. It ain't Coach Graves. It ain't Roman Banks. It ain't Perry White. It ain't Chancellor Pierre. It ain't President Dennis Shield. It is Lacumba. That is the superstar of Southern University, and nobody can top it. I have Lacumba all over the place. Every commercial, everything. Me, I show out as a Lacumba. I'm not a mascot, but I can show out. I can get the people what they want. Some years ago when I did a video, it was with the Boombox Classic, right? It was Southern and Jackson State. This was early on when I started out on the video side of things, and I went up to Jackson, Mississippi, and Southern and Jackson had just played for the SWAC championship the year before. And I went in the stands, and some of you guys out there may have seen it. It's been 10 years now. Some people may have seen it. My man Kendall Odoms produced that with me. I went in the stands. I went in the horseshoe. I interviewed the Jackson State fans. Hostile territory. I was willing to do it that day. What they say, who want the smoke? I want the smoke. We had just beat them for a SWAC championship the year before. I'm in the horseshoe. I even go on the Jackson State home side. I'm in the stands. I'm talking to any and everybody. Everybody wants to show out in front of a camera. They don't want to talk, though. Hey, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to talk on the camera. But for the people that did talk, I had an opportunity to talk to people. But then at that point, we put a GoPro on the Lacumba at the time. Put a GoPro on his head. I still have that video to this day. We called it Lacumba Cam. And Lacumba walked around, took selfies, shook hands, danced with the band, cut up, all of that stuff. I got all of that raw footage, still to this day. All we did was throw a GoPro on his head and called it Lacumba Cam. And it was so interesting as to watch Lacumba interact, watch the kids shaking. Then some kids scared, Lacumba walk up, they crying, they whining. But the rest want to shake his hand, want to high five, want to take a picture. You see all the parents and everybody want to take the pictures. But as I'm talking about branding and marketing, have you guys heard about SWAC TV? Commissioner of the SWAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Dr. Charles McClellan, unveiled this new platform during the 2025 SWAC Media Day over in Birmingham, Alabama. Basically went on every media that was there and said, hey, we're unveiling a platform that we feel is going to be revolutionary for our member institutions to be able to put their games on this platform as a one-stop shop for everybody to be able to watch games from around our conference. Events, because it's just not football. They're going to have everything from track and field, I guess maybe tennis, maybe some golf, I don't know. But I'm sure basketball, baseball, softball, soccer. Maybe we get some bowling on there. But at the end of the day, that platform is going to be our one-stop shop for all of the SWAC sporting events. Year one, it is going to roll out this football season. There are plenty of games that have been tabbed to be on SWAC TV. Now, this is the part that you guys are saying, okay, I'm waiting on this marketing side. I have my ups and downs on the way that it was unveiled. I love the platform because this is what I've been saying for years as we continue to get into this digital media age of how do we capitalize on what we have. We get millions of views on bands alone just within the SWAC space. Go to YouTube and look at all the people who record bands. Band media is the thing now. Talk to any SID around this conference and say, hey, man, how many media requests do you have on a weekend? Especially if it's a Southern Jackson, Bama State, Texas Southern, Prairie View, whatever the case may be. If some bands going to be there, 2 bands, talk to any SID around this conference and say, man, what is you guys' media requests looking like? Say, man, look, I got so many people want to be band media. I got more people here for the band than I do the god doggone. Oh, like how I caught that, don't you? Mike Face said, oh, got doggone. All right. Football game itself. Now, used to be a few people, hey, I'm band media. It's any and everybody who want to just sign up and say, hey, I got a camera now. So now having to filter through that, but what I'm saying is there's a value for it. Hundreds of thousands to millions of views. I think Human Jukebox Media's YouTube channel right now, it's maybe 60, 70 million views. Can you believe that? 60, 70 million views. So as I see SWAC TV being unveiled, the commissioner say this has been 3 years in the making. I was not impressed on what was unveiled. I am glad that the platform is there. It's long overdue, because shout out to my man Alex Hines. Anybody who loves this space and knows if you're looking for games of the past, there's only one place you can find them. And I don't care from the 80s, the 90s to a game. Hell, what was the last game played? I mean, with the baseball, whatever the case may be, Alex Hines is going to have it on his YouTube channel. And if you don't know who Alex Hines is and there's games in the past that you want to see, Southern fans or whoever fans, I can assure most likely you can find it on Alex Hines' YouTube channel. Never met the guy before. Don't know who he is, but he was before his time with this. A guy who just back in the day recorded games and said, hey, I got this game recorded. Let me upload it to YouTube. Does not matter the sport. Does not matter the conference. Does not matter Division I, Division II. Does not matter. NAIA, he has those games archived on his YouTube channel. Now, I'm about to take a break. When I come back on the other side, I'm going to lay out what I mean with how I feel about SWAC TV. I like the platform. Do not get me wrong. I am glad we have something that what it is. But I give you a better understanding of what I have liked to see from the SWAC office along with the 12-member institutions throughout the conference. And then you guys tell me if you agree or disagree with me. So let's get ready to take a break and we'll come back. Stay tuned. More to Jaguar Journal.
Quincy Richard is the quarterback. And Don, this is a man who's really changed his game from last season, and he's a graduate student as well.
Yes, he has, Bob. Quincy Richard has matured into the unquestioned leader of this Southern University offensive attack. 10 wins this season, and he set school marks for passing yards and touchdown passes. And Bobby's had a lot of help. Only 5 sacks on the season.
He earned his undergraduate degree back in August. He's taking some master's classes, and he wants to be a lawyer.
Here's Richard looking in the end zone. Has a man there. Touchdown, Southern University.
Play clock down to 3. Richard gets it off over the middle. Touchdown!
Holmes goes in motion and comes set on a 1st and 10. Richard completes it. That's Ard. Ard down the sideline. He could go. And finally pushed out of bounds. Richard's run for 10 touchdowns this season. He's going to keep it. Richard goes in. Make it 11 for Quincy Richard. Richard wide open. Touchdown, Chris Davis. Oh, does he love playing football even more now?
That in the flag against Grambling, holding on the kickoff.
Richard looking deep, and it's a touchdown.
But only 3 times did he go down. Twice he ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It goes down as a sack.
2nd and 8. The deep ball, and that's our man, Chris Davis, for the touchdown. Time for today's State Farm Players of the Game. And from Southern University, the quarterback, number 15, Quincy Richard. 34 of 42, 552 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
Quincy, on behalf of State Farm Insurance Companies, I want to present you with a trophy for the most outstanding player today. Congratulations.
All right, everybody. We are back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning, everybody. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us on this Saturday morning. Good morning, everybody listening on Talk 107.3 around the Baton Rouge capital city area. Everybody watching on our YouTube and Facebook Live. Talking SWAC TV this morning. I'm glad we have the platform. I saw someone say better late than never. Hey, it's 2025. At some point, we should have gotten on board. What I've realized is a lot of schools throughout the conference charge for you to watch games, Southern being one of them, Jaguar Sports Network, right? I'll come back to that because I think that's something that's going to really open up another door. But let's start with the commissioner first and the SWAC. Now, for somebody who has been pushing for this, I was ahead of my time doing this back in 2013, 2014, when people had not really even taken account of digital media in this space. I was already in the digital media space creating stuff before anyone had decided to do this besides band stuff, right? But I'm talking about actual creating content, realizing what the vision was, because when I started out sports writing for HBCU Digest in 2011. Shout out to my man, Jared Carter, from over on the East Coast. Gave me an opportunity to sports write. My first article I ever wrote was Southern and FAMU over in Atlanta for the Atlanta Football Classic. My next article I wrote was Southern and Jackson State in Baton Rouge, the first time they had played in Baton Rouge in 3 years. Because if you can recall, during that time, Southern had went to Jackson State for 3 consecutive years to play Jackson up there. So Jackson had finally was coming back to Baton Rouge. And I wrote those articles, but what I realized was with Twitter growing, you had Vine, you had all these other spectrums of social media and growing into digital media, that people were starting to change from reading to watching. And I was thinking, like, man, it's one thing for me to write and tell people how great this Southern and Jackson matchup is, because if you've never been, you just don't know. But it'll be another thing for me to record it and put it on a camera and put it on social media or digital media for YouTube and then give you, that's way better than I can explain to you what 50,000 people are doing in the stands and what these bands and the football. That's way better for me writing that to being me putting it on video. So I saw the vision then. I call it the experience. There was a guy at the time at the SWAC office who I thought I was cool with. Jasher Cox. Have no problem calling the name out. Hey, I look up the next year, the SWAC literally doing what I'm doing, calling it the SWAC experience. Just minus the component of the interview. And I mean, you can tell when somebody literally, what they say, often imitated but never duplicated. I totally understand what that means. I saw it. So I called it out. I said, hey, man, instead of, because at the time I'm like, hey, I would love to do work with the SWAC. I'm already doing something on my end. And then I look and I'm like, man, well, hey, instead of just taking the idea, it would have been great to bring me in to work with you guys. The SWAC blocked me on all social media. We're talking Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I literally got blocked for years. I didn't get unblocked until recently, about after COVID, around COVID, after COVID. A lot of people don't know that. I got blocked because I called it out and said, hey, man, you literally took it. And go look at the dates. You literally took it and called it the same thing, the experience. So I said, all right, hey, charge it to the game. Better they doing something. Like, so when I go back to what someone said, better late than never, hey, it is what it is. But I think there are plenty of talented people around this conference that deal with the SWAC and these member institutions that we got to be able to bring it in. Somebody said they didn't want to pay me. Of course. Nobody wants to pay me. Everybody wants you to do something for free. Or they want to lowball you. But I still show them, hey, we're going to make something out of nothing. But I say all that to say is the SWAC commissioner unveiled this at SWAC Media Day. Said, hey, we've been working on this for 3 years. This is a platform that we believe can enhance the viewership because we have looked at the data. We have studied everything over the past 3 years and said now is the time for us to do it. And now that we're doing this is what we're going to do. We're going to have shows, pre-game shows, post-game shows, halftime shows. We're going to have it to where we're going to have, just like when you watch NFL, SEC, whatever else, when they have the football official, the referee, head official, back in the studio analyzing whatever penalty is on that play. Hey, was this targeting? From your perspective, what would you have called there? No, I don't think this is that. Whatever the case may be, all this is supposed to be a part of the experience of programming for SWAC TV. Now, for Perry, for SWAC TV, I look at it as this way. And this is Perry, the commissioner now, that you hear speaking. If I'm going to unveil this at my biggest media day of the year, SWAC Football Media Day, hands down, no doubt about it, is the biggest media day. Now, before the spring ended, I do know the athletic directors, along with the commissioner and the conference, and I believe the presidents, they all meet just like you hear most conferences. They go meet and have this retreat and talk about, hey, this is the things that we want to do as a conference. Now, for Perry, my vision for the SWAC, and if I was commissioner, and if I rolled out SWAC TV, I would look at it as the whole and say, all right, we got 12 institutions. What I want to do at these 12 institutions when we have SWAC TV is create a Bible, sort of say, a generic, just straight out standard for each school to follow. Now, each school, once you follow this standard, can enhance it in your way, and we'll all take the time to look at the data on what you enhance to see if it worked for you and can it work for us. But the first thing for SWAC TV that I have to see us do is, let's sit with our presidents, let's sit with our ADs, and let's say, hey, overall, what can we afford as a conference to invest for each school in terms of the equipment? So we want to look uniform across the board. So if Mississippi Valley streams a game, there's going to be no difference in that stream to when Southern streams a game, to when Prairie View streams a game, to where Bethune-Cookman streamed the game. You get my point. Uniformed across the board. Let's bring in an expert. We need these cameras. We need this equipment. We need these mics. We have to make the investment ourselves. And don't tell me we ain't got the money. We got money for a lot of other stuff. We can have the money to invest in ourselves. But we come across the board, okay, this is uniform. This is what we're going to use as a collective. Now let's just say every school now has set aside to say we're going to donate $100,000, particularly for whatever equipment that we have all agreed upon. Now that we have that, we know now no matter who streams the game, that's going to be on SWAC TV. Because let's be honest, the SWAC does not have the necessary backing in terms of equipment to be able to go to every one of these schools and do this themselves. They're going to rely on the schools to produce this and then for the schools to hand them this content. So now that we all collectively have come up with, okay, these are the cameras, the light, whatever the case, this is the equipment. We all have said we're going to put $100,000 up for this particular equipment. So we look uniformed across the board. Next with SWAC TV, I want to hear how are we going to use our students as interns from across all 12 member institutions to be the integral part of being the heart and the soul of making sure this works. Because somebody just said, hey, they don't want to pay anybody. You know who you can get to do it? Students. I always say, if the bare minimum, give them some gear and feed them. If you don't do nothing else, give me some gear, make me look official, and make sure my stomach is full. Because how many of us was in college and was hungry all the time? Maybe it was just me. Don't know about y'all. I ate ramen noodles a lot of nights wishing I was eating in the calf. But if you don't do nothing else, feed them and give them some gear and train them up. So then how do we make this beneficial for the students on our campus? A lot of these students on our campus already are savvy of the digital media age. You know what a lot of our campuses already have? Mass comm departments, studios on the campuses already, radio stations on the campus already. So how do we bring these students and then make them a part of what we're doing at SWAC TV? Because at SWAC TV, we want to make sure we give students hands-on experience while on their campus, while creating the content to create value for the overall hierarchy of the SWAC. And that's providing that for all 12 member institutions. But we have to come up with a plan on what this looks like so you won't go back to your school doing whatever and you go. There's a plan on how we're going to go knock on the doors of our mass comm departments, because let's be honest, across this conference, athletic departments and the main academia side of the school, there's a disconnect. And there's so much more that we can do if we can bring those different areas together. Public relations, the business department, mass communications. You bring in some broadcast journalism students. It's so many things that we have when we say we don't have resources, but we very much so have the resources. We have to then create the platform and the structure. I always use it like this. You can go to any McDonald's in the world. McDonald's has a system that no matter what McDonald's you go to, that system is McDonald's. The same way it is Burger King, the same way that system is Wendy's. They're never going to try to do it like the other. They're going to do it their way. The issue that we sometimes run into the system is finding the people not being able to run it correctly. That lazy cashier. That half-ass fry cook. The person in the drive-thru who don't want to give you that extra napkin or some ketchup. But when you go in, you watch an orientation video and it says, hey, welcome to McDonald's. Hey, welcome to whoever. This is how we do it. Target ain't the same as Walmart, is it? Two totally different stores with the same concept, but don't matter where you go, it does it the same across the board. Any store in America, from a Walmart, neighborhood Walmart, to a supercenter, to just an average Walmart. So we have to be able to create the platform. And this is the thing, if you've been working for this for 3 years, how we sit down and we walk away from these meetings and we're not unified collectively as a whole, but instead, hey, you go do what you're going to do. And this is where I have the issue, because it's like, at what point do we bring it together? Because we have a lot of turnover in athletics and at our schools. From SID positions to athletic directors to people working the everyday athletics. Don't matter who come and go. Once again, I go back to it's the system. when somebody leaves and a new person come in, we shouldn't be starting from ground zero every single time. It is a system. All you doing is plug and play. That makes sense for my sports fans out there. We got a system. We plug you in, you ready to play. You fit the system. We don't have to switch it up. So for me, I have wanted to hear that because now once I unveil this, hey, we got together. This is what we're doing as a community. And when I say community, all 12 member institutions, this is the standard of what we're doing across the board. Every school, every institution has committed this amount of money to making sure we have these standards starting when we launch SWAC TV. These are the students that we have identified on each campus, from public relations to broadcast journalism to whatever the case may be. We are opening the doors now that have been closed for so long between our athletic departments and our academia side on our campuses. Then what happens when we come back and meet next year? Let's all meet and look at what happened year one. Hey, what worked for you, Southern? Hey, what didn't work for you, Texas Southern? Now we got data. We have data. Remember, we are institutions of higher learning. We are research. We are universities. We got data now. We can research to see what did this look like in year one. How was the equipment? Do we need to evolve? Now we're building from that structure that we've already put into place. And when I say that structure, all of us together, not just one, but all 12 schools, together we stand. Divided we fall. We got to do it together. Let's get ready to take a break. I'll finish this conversation when we come back. Got plenty more to go. All right? You guys stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal. It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well. Over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
And they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
He is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss.
All right, everybody, we're back. It is the Jaguar Journal. I am Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Everybody listening across the Baton Rouge capital city area on Talk 107.3 FM, and everybody watching on our Facebook and YouTube Live. Glad to have you guys with us. I'm talking SWAC TV, and I'm going to jump right back into it because I'm saying we need to have this standard for all schools. Let's stop acting like we're not universities and colleges. We have resources. We just got to bring. I can yell all day. We don't have the resources here at the Jaguar Journal. You heard CJ Guidry tell you that early on. It's a miracle what Mike and I are able to create and do here. You don't even see it. Just for what we're doing, it is a miracle, but we don't make excuses. We just try to find a way to do what we got to do. Now, as I talk about SWAC TV, and I'm talking about this standard that every school has to invest the same amount of money so we can look uniformed across the board, at the same time giving experience for our students on our campuses so they can be an integral part of making sure this thing grows. Because at the end of the day, we got to incorporate the students. Those are going to be your ones working your cameras, your behind the scenes, everything. But at the same time, I'm also looking at programming. You got, I believe, Alabama A&M. Is it From the Hill or On the Hill? You got KC 1400, Tiger Talk. You got the Jaguar Journal. You got my man Charles Edmond up at Alabama, the Alcorn State with Alcorn State stuff. You got the OG Strike Zone over at Florida A&M. You got a lot of programming that's out there that's covering these particular schools. Get with these content creators and say, hey, we also want to would it be okay? We would like to have your shows run on SWAC TV as well. You're talking about these schools. You're the one showing up to our media days. You're the one talking about us when nobody else is talking about us. You're the one promoting your school and your campuses. Coaches have coaches shows out there. Terrence Graves has one. Let's get those coaches shows. Let's make them a part of SWAC TV. I'm just saying for 3 years now, I'm putting it out there. This is Perry's thought on what I would have set down with a structure. And then by the time I sat down at SWAC Media Day, I would have introduced you to the members of our team. Hey, I want to introduce you guys to our program director. This is our director of programming, has already have the structure. Then you know what? We've already are rolling and unveiling during commercial breaks our game day shows. Hey, I want you to meet the game day staff. Hey, it's Perry White. Hey, I'm Perry White. Hey, this is Perry White. Football season's right around the corner. We want you to join us every Saturday morning as we break down all the games from around the SWAC and bring you the latest news, all right? We're promoting it. That's what I'm looking for. While promoting everybody who's already doing the work for the SWAC with their perspective show, just like the Jaguar Journal, as well as giving the students opportunities on their campuses and bridging the gap between our athletic departments and our academia side of our campuses. And that structure should be broken down to each and every president and athletic director within this conference to make sure we are going to be united on this front. Because also now, because Southern, like some other schools, broadcast their own games and now SWAC TV is taking it, does that now take away money from Southern? If the game Southern is not typically on ESPN or HBCU Go TV and they say, hey, we'll stream it ourselves and put it on Jaguar Sports Network and we'll charge how much ever they're charging, $29.99, $59.99, whatever the case may be, people are buying it and watching it. So now all of those games that aren't on HBCU Go TV or on ESPN and the SWAC say, hey, that game is going to be on SWAC TV and we're going to put it on SWAC TV for free. Does that take food out of Southern's mouth now? It's an honest question. How can I charge for a game or a sporting event and you willing to put it up for free? You willing to give it away for free when I was making something off of it. And once again, that got to be a conversation where you look across the board. Hey, what works for us as a whole? Not what works for you, Grambling. Not what works for you, Jackson. Not what works for you, Alabama A&M. Because what works for Southern may not work for Mississippi Valley and UAPB. We got to find a common goal. Carlos Brown show, of course. That's another. Dr. Cavill. I'm just naming stuff that's out there that could be programmed. But at the same time, it's what works for everybody because we got to work together on it. So this is my pushback. As I say, this was unveiled. I was not sold with the unveiling because for me, you see where I think outside the box. I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of thoughts. I want to know but I know that's a safe space. Don't ask these questions. Let him explain and you move on. Because that same sentiment was put out there for the SWAC Football Classic. Remember that? In Birmingham, Alabama? It was pushed out there, hey, we're going to play this SWAC Classic in Birmingham. Every school, the city of Birmingham is partnered with the SWAC to give every school in the SWAC an opportunity to play in that stadium in Birmingham. The city said they would take on the operations costs. They just want your school to come and stay in the hotels, buy food at our local businesses, buy gas, shop, whatever else, and you can take home whatever you make at the gate from that game for the member institutions who decide to play there. Last I checked, the only game being played in Birmingham is the Magic City Classic. And we have heard nothing else from it. It sounded good unveiling it, but when you peel back the layers, what was it to it? Southern and Jackson State had potentially looked at it as a spot during this non-conference period. UAPB and Jackson State at one time looked at it when Jackson pulled out of the Southern Heritage. But I'm just saying, things sound good on the outside, but for me, what I look for is the meat and potatoes of it, especially if it's you at your own media day unveiling your own media platform. Now, this is the part where people begin to say, well, this is why they don't like you, Perry. This is because you think, what you laughing at, Mike? I get it from Southern. I get it from SWAC. I get it from places around. I mean, I was critical of Prairie View last year on how I saw operations. Some things for me is just how you operate. And when I sit back and watch you operate, I'm an evaluator. People like to think less of you if you don't have a title behind your name. No, I'm not this big shot guy. No, I don't have a PhD behind my name. But some of the richest people in the world also didn't go to college. So everything don't have to have this to validate you. I don't need all of it. I'm just a naturally gifted guy who reads, who analyzes, and I'm aware of a lot that goes on. So when I see things, I'm not saying it because I personally dislike somebody. I'm speaking from business. And none of this is personal. I don't never talk about who's sleeping with who drinks where, what you do outside. I talk about the evaluation part of the public light. And your job is public in athletics. And not just athletics, academia. Anything you do at a university. So it's nothing never to take personal with Perry, because personally, I'll go have a beer with you. But business-wise, I got to tell you, hey, this may not be the best practice, or why are we doing things like this? We're working harder, not smarter, and I believe in working smarter, not harder. And I believe in getting the most bang for my buck. I don't go to no restaurant that give me some food, and when I'm done eating, I feel robbed. I go to the places that I feel I got my bang for my buck. And what I'm saying, the SWAC in our schools, so much we just leave out there. But we do stuff just to say we do it, and it sounds good for the masses of people, which I'm okay with us doing something. But God, dog, I always think we could be doing better. And that's what it's all about for me, especially because I love this space to the point that I do a media show. And if it wasn't for the things Mike and I do, this would just be a radio show. So all the people that's commenting and watching this on our YouTube, they wouldn't even be able to be a part of the show. But we realize, hey, there's more out there. We have to open this up. Trey Holly video on Facebook, almost 13,000 views. On TikTok, over 10. We wouldn't have gotten that if we didn't think, okay, let's do something more than what we're doing. Radio, love it. But there's a lot of people out there who don't even get a chance to be in the Baton Rouge area to listen to us. And remember, the money ain't just flowing in. We're making it do what it do, but we had to come up with a structure. And that's all I'm saying for this. I would have liked to hear more of a structure than just the overall. Tell me what year one is going to look like. Hey, we're not going to have the best of this. We're not going to have the best of that. We're just going to be working and building by year two. This is what, in our plan in 5 years, this is where we look to have SWAC TV headed. But at the same time, I'm asking, does it take away from Southern University if Southern streams its sporting events and now you putting it on SWAC TV for free, which you can go download today, right now. It officially launched yesterday. But I'm asking, what does this look like as a whole? It works for some, it don't work for some. We need a better plan, I think. I'm always open for consulting. Southern, don't be scared. Don't shy away from me. I know. Hey, look, people ask, why don't people think I do work at Southern half the time? I do not. I have a love for my school. I have a love for HBCUs. I attended 2 HBCUs. My family are all about HBCUs. I grew up with pride, understanding who I am as at the time, a black young man, a black kid, and now as a black man. I know I have to work 20 times harder. Don't nobody have to tell me. I know when I go out in the world, people going to swear to God I don't know what I'm talking about because I got to have all these accolades just to get people to remotely begin to listen. Forget what you say. What's his title? How much money he made? I understand that. But I fight the good fight because of what I love. And this is nothing to the SWAC. It's just, once again, to all of our schools, I could have went to a lot of schools other than HBCUs. I tell you guys, I got accepted to Notre Dame and Auburn. I wanted to go to Auburn. I was going to be an Auburn Tiger. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of places I could have went, but I stuck because I understood what I wanted. I had a vision for our schools. As I've gotten older, I didn't even think this realm was going to be my realm, but you never know where God is going to lead you and direct you. I don't have a master's. I don't have a PhD. I don't have none of that. I went to school. I have a degree. I graduated from Southern. And at the end of the day, I have an experience and I have a brain. I process things. Now, a lot of times what I realize what happens is it may not work for everybody because then you make people uncomfortable because you may be thinking over somebody's head, or as they say, you're doing too much. And I may be one that do too much because I like to stay ahead, not behind. I like to be proactive, not reactive. I like to already be 10 steps ahead of the game to realize how can we make this better and evolve instead of just now catching up. And I got to catch up to a break, so let's take one. I'll be back. Y'all stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal. It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500-plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic Scrambling, comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket, and his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again, throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver, Hayes, makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable, Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing. Nice catch made.
Receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle, and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet, and Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5 yards.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White. Good morning, everybody, on Talk 107.3 FM around Baton Rouge, capital city area, and everybody watching our YouTube and Facebook Lives. Glad to have you guys with us. Be sure to go follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, as well as keep up with us on our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and subscribe to the Jaguar Journal YouTube channel. You see how I push things and telling you where all we are at and making sure that you go be a part of that? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, man, I got nothing but love for the SWAC. I love this. People think because you can constructively criticize something, it ain't no hate. It ain't none of that. I just want to see us do better. Maybe one day I can become the commissioner, right? I changed my dreams. I don't want to be the mascot no more, everybody. I want to be the SWAC commissioner. I've taken my sights to bigger and better now. I don't want to be the mascot no more on Saturdays. I want to be the commissioner. Maybe if I get a master's degree one day, I could be the athletic director at Southern. I got to go get my master's degree, though. I'd just be tired of school. Once I was done with school, man, I didn't feel like I needed all that other stuff, man. But for others, the world of academia, building up credit, that's you. Maybe I could be the athletic director. I have so much vision. Man, listen, for Southern University, y'all don't even know. I actually have a notebook at the house full of stuff for Southern. I'm talking about projects, unveilings. I'm talking about increasing donorship, tickets. I'm talking about infrastructure. I'm talking, man, so much that you just don't even, marketing and branding, creating stuff from the inside. Y'all don't even know. I'm that type of person. And for the SWAC as well. I do this because I love it. I'm true to it. It's our people. I can't give up on our people, no matter how hard it is, no matter how tough it is, no matter how many doors close because, hey, I just don't like you. That's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But at the end of the day, you can't say, hey, he do all that and he don't show up. He do all that and look, I give ideas. I'm not just bad. I'm not even bashing. We're talking. It's nothing personal for me. Strictly business. And I love this stuff so much. I'm passionate about it. And that's what you got to get, passionate people. Let me tell y'all. I love Southern. I love the SWAC. I love all the schools. It's something about it that gave me, when I grew up and was a part of this, that at the end of the day, No matter where I go, I talk about it proudly. I don't shy away from it because I'm around whoever and whatever race of people. I'm black and I'm proud, and I say it loud. And the school I went to was founded for somebody like me when the others said no. So at the end of the day, I want you to understand that. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. So when you speak on it, you hear where I'm going with it. I speak with passion. And the more I talk, I get myself hyped up because I'm energetic about it. I'm just not in these positions, right? I'm not through the door, as they say. And we all understand, guess what? It comes as no surprise. What we know. You got to know somebody to get through the door. You got to kiss some butt to get through the door. You got to go along with the get along to get through the door. I've never stood on that. I stood on what's right and to do what's right and good business practice. Put my best foot forward and put the people around me, the best people that I can find around me to do the best thing that we can do. Not just sit here and put up a flag and say we're going to do enough just to get by, just to say we did something. I'm not about that. If you guys ever were to see this book that I have written down with so much stuff to enhance not only the network of Southern University from the alumni side to the academia side to the athletic side, but as the structure as a whole for the conference. Because we have infrastructure that is in place. We just don't know how to bring it together. And I don't think a lot of times we have the people that's so caught up with so many other things, we're not even thinking about it. What they say is blind, they see me, but they act like they don't. It's right in our face, and we ignore it. They say that about a blessing. You can be caught up so much into other stuff, that blessing right in your face, and you don't even see it because you're blinded by the other stuff. You're too busy keeping up with what somebody else got going personally, what they driving and what they got in their pocket. You missed your own blessing. It was right there in front of you. What the old folks say, if it was a snake, it would have bit you. You like that one, Mike? That's what my mom used to tell me about the remote. The remote right here, if it was a snake, it would have bit you. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's show. I didn't even get to do the over-under of Southern University scale. That's next week. We do that next week. We say that for next week. But I just wanted to have this conversation with you guys, show my passion, my love. And guess what? Everything don't have to be about a title, PhD, all that stuff. You got to have a passion for it. Passion for what you do, passion for what you wake up. Many of y'all don't even have a passion for getting up, going to work. You dread going to work. You lost the passion. Find something you love to do so it won't never feel like work. Some of us, you may not have that opportunity to do it because you got to just pay the bills. But find some passion. If you're going to do this, do it the right way. Do it correct. Because there's many of us out here who are passionate about it and love it and willing to go up and down the road and go wherever to support it. And there's many out there that don't even know about what we're doing. That's why we got to brand and market better so we can bring them in to make them as passionate. All right? Be sure to follow the Jaguar Journal on X, Twitter. That's the same thing. Instagram, Facebook. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Man, I had a great show with you guys today. Glad you guys have enjoyed it. See you guys next week. Same time, same place as always. It's the Jaguar Journal. What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.